Welcome back everybody, it's time for another edition of JDM Racing in F1 22 Season 2 Round 16 at Monza, the home of Italian motorsport, the home of Ferrari, the home of the Tifosi, and qualifying is up next. Now, coming into this weekend, we're 14 points behind Charles Leclerc at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Our car is not that based towards the engine and the power unit, so I'm hoping that we're going to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat here and get some decent performance somehow. But I'm not expecting it to be coming purely from the engine. Let's see how we get on. So a good baseline to start from then, quickest in Q1. The Ferraris are a bit further down as well, so a bit slower than I would have expected. But the McLaren is going to be something to look out for, as well as the Red Bull. So our job's not over yet. Into Q2 then, and as we've shown our pace, we've shown our hand in the first session, we get a little bit out of shape there into Ascari. And that's going to cost us a little bit of time down to the Parabolica, and let's see how we can take the Parabolica. So we go a little bit steady, we don't get right to the edge on the exit, so we could have carried more speed there, but let's see how this scruffy lap pans out for us. As suspected then, not as quick as we went in Q1, but it was an okay lap and we still get through into Q3. Michael was fast as well.
Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Into Q3, and Verstappen and Leclerc have all of a sudden decided to bring their A games, and they've got the quickest times in the session. We posted a time that was good enough for the front row, but we're looking to try and improve on that and just take away that pole position from Max Verstappen. Let's see if we can manage to do it. We're up on our time. We get right on the edge of the Parabolica on the exit. Let's see where we come across. So we did improve by just a fraction, but by 8 thousandths of a second. Max Verstappen takes pole position. That's his second pole of the season and his first since the French Grand Prix. So he will be ecstatic with that. We are on the front row, Michael in 8th, and our main championship rival just behind us in 3rd.
It's time for the Italian Grand Prix once again, here at the beloved and iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. The lowest downforce and drag of any circuit in the season, expect to see drivers making the most of the slipstream effect here today. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest track in Formula One. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6 mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Gardner completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Sergio Perez, and Russell, Sainz, Michael Schumacher, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll, Hamilton, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen and Gasly, Joe, Ocon, Alex Albon and Valtteri Bottas, Tsunoda, Ticktum, Vettel and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Now I wonder, Anthony Davidson, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams? Trying to put a bit of pressure on or disrupt things for the leaders?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running 2nd and 3rd, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Okay then, into race day on the front row, just behind Max Verstappen. And I think our main target today has got to be to finish in front of Leclerc, That is our main goal. I don't think we can risk too much getting caught up with Verstappen, and knowing how aggressive he can be, I don't think we want to risk that too much. If we can beat him off the line and get away, scamper away from Leclerc, then I think that would serve us well. But ultimately, we want a clean start, no damage, and just tuck in and see where we end up, and then reassess from there. But definitely Leclerc is our main priority. So away we go then, the Italian Grand Prix is underway. We get a fairly decent getaway, but Max Verstappen has just started to pull away down to the Rettifilo. And Norris has gotten in front of Leclerc, so that's done us a favour. So we go a little bit aggressive into the Rettifilo on the exit. We just push Verstappen wide. Replay of the start then, Max Verstappen on the right. We are on the left, on the front row. Lights go out. And Verstappen just rocketed away after what looked like initially a poor start. But we got down the outside of him into the Rettifilo. He left the door open a little bit, and we just decided to slam up the inside. Bounced across the curbs and understeered. So that'll probably go down as a racing incident, but that's payback for Japan last year at Spoon Curve, I think.
Come on! I locked up at the Rettifilo. I don't think there was any damage. I don't even think we touched, to be honest. But yeah, just in case, like, race control want to look at that one. But simply lovely though, wasn't it?
Joining back on board, Verstappen having a look into the Lesmos, and then has to back out. So we've got it under control for now. Hope that we don't get a penalty from race control. At top speed down the start-finish straight, Verstappen with the slipstream. We block the inside, he tries to go round the outside, and we just tuck on the inside and go extreme defensive. So we're having to deal with Verstappen's onslaught early on. On the following lap, it's not much better for us. We're guarding that inside line again, trying to break the toe down to the chicane. Can we hold him back? He's gaining. We move across into the middle of the track. He comes down the outside again, and we just do enough placing our car to keep him behind for now.
Power settings I can use. I'm barely keeping him out of the DRS. Like, I don't know what to do. He's just too quick down the straights.
So after sounding a little panicked and not knowing how to respond, we go into lap 5 and set the fastest lap of the race, and have gotten Verstappen outside of the DRS. So this might be the little break that we needed to be able to build a gap now and get a bit of breathing room before the pit stops. A few laps on, and we can see that that's confirmed by the fact that Sainz has gotten in front of Gasly due to Gasly pitting from the soft onto the medium. So now is the time where we're going to start looking at trying to make sure that we don't get undercut into the Della Roggia chicane on lap 8, and we go a bit deep, and we get a little bit out of shape, and that's put us back under pressure from Verstappen. So all the hard work we've been doing at trying to keep that gap at around 1.345 seconds has now evaporated again as we get ready to pit. And approaching the end of lap 8, Max Verstappen, who has been in second place for pretty much the whole race, comes into the pit lane. So he is going for the undercut on the JDM. Let's see if the Red Bull crew can do him a favour with a exemplary stop. Pulls into the pit box. Soft tyres are going on. That looks pretty standard. So a good stop from Verstappen. Pressure's back on JDM. So a decent gap back to Perez, but Perez is not who we are racing. We are racing Verstappen as we try and get it slowed down into the first chicane. So now it has to be a good in-lap. In we come then for our stop the following lap. We didn't want to extend any further than we needed to for fear of losing track position to Max Verstappen in that Red Bull. We know he's been quick today. And we need a good stop from our team as well.
I think there's an error with the attachment of one of the front wheels.
And that is exactly what we didn't want. An issue with one of the wheels. So we got held for probably an extra 3 or 4 seconds. So now we're going to have to chase down Verstappen. There he goes. That is a nightmare for us in our attempts to win this Italian Grand Prix. And in other news, a double blow is that our main championship rival, Charles Leclerc, has gotten in front of his teammate and is in 4th place now. So it's really turned on its head for us. We've got to recover now. As we follow Max Verstappen down the pit straight, and you can see he comes out in the lead of the race when all things have shaken out. So Verstappen leads, the JDM is 2nd, Perez, his teammate, is 3rd. Red Bull having a strong race. We've spent the last few laps closing Max Verstappen down, trying to get back in that striking distance of the DRS range as we enter the Parabolica, coming into the penultimate lap. We get a good exit, we're using the ERS, we're getting prepared to open that DRS back wing. As we do, we also take the fastest lap, so we are on it, fully gunning for Verstappen. He squeezes us to the inside of the track. We go right up the inside, brake a little bit earlier, but then cadence brake into the Rettifilio and come out in the lead. Jump forward to just entering the final lap now. We're going to have one more time to have to defend Verstappen down into the Rettifilio, but I think he's too far back. We're using the extra lap of goodness and freshness that we've got in these tyres to try and open up enough of an advantage to be able to defend in a good way, and we've done that, and it should be plain sailing now until the end of the race. To the team, I know we had a mess up with that pit stop, but man, this car is just something else. Respect to Max, pushed me all the way.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations, well done.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
Wow, what a high pressure Grand Prix that was. So we take our 7th win of the season. 7th win for JDM. That is quite the impressive amount of numbers there, as Charles Leclerc is seemingly dropping off the pace a little bit. And Red Bull are making a bit of a resurgence. It could just be this track. It could just be that Red Bull have developed their engine better. But it seems to me like we have the fighting chance of trying to get this championship. And we'll see how far we can push in the constructors as well. So all to play for coming up. Time to break down the Italian Grand Prix results then. So we take the victory, our 7th of the season. We also take the extra point for the fastest lap. Max Verstappen, a great race from him. And Sergio Perez, a great race from him also. So both Red Bulls on the podium in front of the 2 Ferraris. Gasly in the AlphaTauri, that is a good result for them. 6th place and a good clutch of points. Lando Norris takes a bit of a back seat. He's been good in recent races, not quite so much today. Mercedes in the lower points paying positions. Mick Schumacher getting a rare point for Haas as well. Michael down in 14th for us, so not where he would want to be. But in terms of the championship, all level between the top 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So everywhere you look up and down, there are people fighting for something. Ferrari at the top, but being closed down, and we are closing in on Red Bull and Mercedes in the fight for second. So that pretty much wraps up the Italian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned because in future there's more F1 22 races coming for JDM. See you then.